Hi, my name is Rosemary Nightingale. I work in the personnel department. Some of the things that the personnel department does is we work with the vehicles, making sure that they're ready to go for when they drive them off property. We also work with the staff here in Florida and also in the bases overseas to make sure everything is working together and we have all the information that we need to make sure they don't get in trouble. And I'd like to share a verse with you. It's in Deuteronomy 7:17 and 18. It reads, "You may say to yourself, these nations are stronger than we are. How can we drive them out? But do not be afraid of them. Remember well what the Lord your God did to Pharaoh and to all Egypt." What they're talking about here is Israel is about ready to go into the promised land, the land of Canaan, which God promised that he would give to them. He's saying how some of them will get nervous, or they'll say that the people there are too strong because the people they were fighting were the Anakites, which are the giants. And I don't know about you, but if you ever come across a giant and you actually have to fight them, that's kind of scary. So it makes sense that they'd be a little afraid. But God says to them, don't be afraid. Remember that the things that he did in the past, the things that he did in Egypt, which is the miraculous signs. It says here in verse 19, "You saw with your own eyes the great trials, the miraculous signs and wonders, the mighty hand and outstretched arms, which the Lord your God brought you out. The Lord your God will do the same to the peoples you now fear." He was basically telling them, don't be afraid, because he promised that they would be there, and he wanted to remind them that they didn't have to fear the people if God told them that this is what he's going to do. And let's apply this to your life. Say you're here at boot camp, as some of you might be, and you're running through the obstacle course and you get to the slough, which is one of our obstacle courses that you have to grab the rope and swing across. And you say, this slough, it's too hard. How can I ever get across it? But remember that it's not too hard, that you can still do it. You may get wet, but you can still make it across, because God never makes you do something that's too hard to do without him. Let's say you're still working on getting here. Let's say you may say to yourself, this support raising thing, I don't know if I can do that. It just seems too hard. But God says, don't be afraid. Remember that he's the one who called you. So he's the one that will make it possible for you to come. Remember what he's done in the past. All the prayers that he's answered. For the Israelites, it was all the miraculous signs that he did back in Egypt. For me, it's the countless prayers that he answers for maybe money that I need because I don't have any a lot of the time. Or maybe it's answers to a test that I've been studying for and I just can't remember what it is. And he reminds me, this is what it is. What is it for you? What are some of the things that God wants you to remember that he's done for you? That's all I have to say, is just remember. Remember them, because they'll help you when you come across the trials.